Welcome to Candid Conversations with Doc V, a collaboration with the unprecedented enterprise Win-Win Women, a global movement to reach, teach, and talk with women and girls around the world in 195 nations. As a woman heals, the earth heals. Our mission is to care, connect, and collaborate with 3.9 billion women worldwide so all can enjoy a level of excellence in every area of their lives and be more joyful, fulfilled, and financially secure. We care by loving and inspiring all women. We connect as we teach and talk together. We collaborate to grow successful businesses. To that end, Candid Conversation is where real talk about real experiences and circumstances is the norm and not the exception, to help you heal, rebuild, and transform your life from the inside out and put you back in business and on the road to defining your path. Hi, I'm Doc V, the Pivot Maestro and your corner woman, here to help provide truth and transparency in conversation, to help you navigate the waters and think without a box. What is my why? You are my why and motivation, to create a safe haven, to validate you and your experiences, and to provide hope and freedom in your thinking and being, so that you may live the life and lifestyle you were meant to lead. All are welcome to the conversation, with our topics running the gamut and focused on issues women face every day in life, the workplace, career transition, and business. On Candid Conversation, it is our intention to always provide revelation, reconciliation, and renaissance, having one mission in mind: to help you define your path. And one message: you are mission essential. Yes, even as a woman, because you are grace under pressure and the world needs your voice. Before I took a small hiatus to tend to my health and well-being, we were discussing the thought of business as usual. This week's thought: the road not taken. Let's open with my favorite poem by the famous American poet Robert Frost, upon which this conversation will be based. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though, as for that, the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So I hope you enjoyed that. Frost lived from the years 1874 to 1963, a time with a great deal of unrest and change on the heels of the American Civil War. An awakening, if you will, full of new perspective and change makers, legacy builders, visionaries who began to think without the box. This was a time when futures were up in the air and economies unstable. Sound familiar? 1874 to 1887, let's talk about some of the events that occurred during this time period. Was the women's suffrage movement. 1876, it was the first telephone prototype was built. 1886, Coca-Cola was invented. My honey would appreciate that one. 1891, the production of the first automobiles. 1895, the invention of motion pictures. How many of us like that? 1903, the Wright brothers took the first flight. 1909, the first Model T Ford, for those of you who love cars. And 1912 was the voyage of the Titanic. 1930, the experimental poetry television broadcast begins. All of these things were innovations, changes, visionaries, things that were seemingly impossible that had never been done before. They were out of the box, without a box. Let me correct that. Without a box thinking, thought processes. Individuals who exercise divergent thinking in their inventions, in changing the world, in setting and leaving a legacy that would change everything. Why am I taking you down this road today? Admittedly, I've gone through some recent decisions and pivots in my life that have yielded freedoms of choice, reflection, transformation, creativity, and empowerment in my life. But more so, I'm bringing this to you because in my moments of reflection, I realize that it is time someone took you down this path to help extricate you from that box and false senses of security in living. The poem depicts the agony of decision making and the rewards of forging your own path, right? The subject of the poem is faced with the decision of taking the safe route, right? Those jobs that you're sitting in that you think are safe, right? Though that life you're leading right now, where you've not diversified your portfolio, you have a single stream of income, the safe route that others have taken before, or the choice of breaking new ground. He says that he took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. See, the poet finds that making original and independent choices makes life rewarding, worth living, fulfilling, just among a few of the positives. Have you ever thought about the road less traveled? I've thought about it a lot. And honestly, I've run from it a lot. Going in and out of the workplace, following the entrepreneurial path. And I tell you, when life happens and you hit that road, you see the forks in the road and life happens, and you're on that mat and you're deciding to get up because of whatever took you down to that mat. The road less traveled presents itself, and then it becomes a choice. Are you going to choose it, which is also synonymous with choosing you? Or are you going to continue the path, the well-trodden path that has led you to that life that you're living right now that you're unfulfilled in? See, probably not just because, we've not thought about the road less traveled, not just because it's the road that's less traveled. Other than studies in the humanities, it's not a part of our educational process or our social cultural conditioning. Think about it. So don't be too hard on yourself. Life is business as usual, as we talked about last week, which, as we said in the last episode, it simply allows you to manage your reality instead of orchestrating your reality and leading life. Essentially, you have no control and little say when you're simply managing your reality. While, yes, you're doing better thinking outside the box and somewhat leading life a little bit, you're still thinking with a box. And therefore that box, business as usual, still controls you and predictors of your success. This is the intended for the collective, the basis of hierarchy, a social construct based on wealth, race, culture, gender, etc. It is how societies are set up, built, and operated. Realize that. Now, what is the meaning of all of this? What is the revelation here? To get you thinking, to provide an aha moment, and for you to question how you are existing right now, with or without a box, and who is in control. So the reconciliation of this aha, if you feel any tension, angst, anger, stress, fear, bewilderment, frustration, indecision, confusion, and the like, anything other than peace, joy, fulfillment, certainty of financial stability and ability, you are not in control. Don't feel bad. I have this realization. This is not a condemnation of you, but real talk, candid conversation. You are not in control. You are not leading life. You have not defined your own path. You've been making a series of choices, but think about how you started that journey, why you started that journey, and where you are on that path, and how you're walking out that journey. If you're feeling any of those sensations, any of those feelings that I just described, I invite you to rethink your choices. See, great news though, it's not too late. It's never too late. And you are not alone. As I just said, I'm guilty. I am more than guilty. As I mentioned at the top, I've been in and out of the workplace. I've made choices. I've walked them back. It's life. It's being in the boxing ring, learning how to box, learning how to dance with life. It's okay. But know, to start your renaissance, to start your rebirth, your rediscovery, to define your path, choice is key. Choose to abandon that overcrowded box of ladder climbers and program thinkers. Change your perspective and take the road less traveled by. I would like to read you a bit from my chapter 9 of my book, Love the Skin You're In, How to Conquer Life Through Divergent Thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about divergent thinking. It's all about choice in that divergent thinking and pivoting. So chapter 9 is Conquering the Ring, Finding Purpose. And I start this chapter with one of my favorite quotes by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. And I guess that's really, sidebar for a second, I guess that's really why it's probably my second favorite quote, because it is tied to the Robert Frost quote. When you're thinking about defining your own path, charting your own course, taking your life back, and owning your choices, exercising your birthright of choice. Not taking the usual path, being that divergent thinker, being that innovator, that visionary, that change agent. It's all about not walking the same path that may lead to the place, that overcrowded box. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Dear society, with everyone busy trying to keep up with the Joneses or competing to whatever end due to their conditioned state of mind, you have the opportunity, the gift to carve out your niche. Be true to yourself. Awareness and knowledge are power, and the road less traveled is exposure. Define your path and leave a trail. Be the one they didn't see coming. One of the greatest human tragedies is unrealized potential. There is a reason your path does not look like another person's. It's called purpose. or as I like to say, sidebar, sole purpose. Too many people miss the off-ramp to their path because of distractions. They are busy looking left, right, or behind instead of straight ahead. There is a lesson here to be learned from horse racing. Racehorses wear blinders, right? They wear the blinders while on their racing path to prevent distractions, alleviate fear, and keep them looking forward, which provides an advantage by maintaining their focus on the race and what's ahead of them, not on the horses around them. It gives them the ability to manage their reality, including existing and approaching distractions that might keep them from achieving their purpose and reaching their full potential. This small change in perspective of how a horse sees its surroundings encourages that horse to take chances it normally would not take. On some level, most of us fear our own greatness. We fear the responsibility that comes with meeting our full potential and walking in our true purpose. We settle for expected or reasonable happiness as a substitute for real happiness, leaving a hole of lack and incompleteness within us that festers in the soul. After all, who are we to want more and deserve more? Stop finding excuses to foil your dreams. Change your mind. Make a decision. Then change your mind-set and redirect to the positive. Everything in life has a purpose, whether you can see it or not. If you have managed to overcome and find yourself in the ring on your way to conquering something, keep the intensity on. Don't allow outside forces to cause you to throw the fight. Don't make yourself smaller to make others feel better. You were not meant to play small, and you certainly aren't responsible for the insecurity and jealousy of others. If you've worked hard for what you have accomplished, you have no reason to apologize, nor any need to justify your elevation. Your blessing is just that, yours. But know that your blessings were not given to you and your gifts were not made for you alone. Continue to maintain your work ethic and standards no matter what. Your performance will justify you and say all it needs to say. Discover what you're made of, break your chains, and be true to you. Reach back, teach, and uplift. You are the difference maker. There's a reason you are where you are. Hint. You're there to learn, breathe life into, uplift others, or as a stepping stone to your elevation, which involves all of the above. It's yours to figure out and proceed accordingly. Whether you accept the assignment or not is your choice. The Buddha once said, "Your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it." What you do is not who you are until you find your purpose. I'm going to say that again. What you do is not who you are until you find your purpose. You will get insight into that person as you move through life and connect the dots. However, you will not truly understand nor live that life until you find your purpose. To do so, the metal must be ready for the maker's hand. We are all uniquely and divinely made. Don't hide behind doing something good when you're meant to do something great. You may be sacred, you may be scared, but channel that fear into strength. Don't let the fear overtake you. Affirm yourself. Tell yourself that you have the heart of a warrior, that you're brave, braver than anyone. Once you get off the wheel of insanity and break your chains, you cannot only help yourself, but also help others. You can not only help yourself, but also will be able to help others. It is time to face life. You can only conquer when you put skin in the game. If you want a test of faith, stamina, and training that will help you conquer life, then pursuing the path of an entrepreneur is the ultimate test. It is the ultimate test to think without a box. I have found it to be true that most of us fear our own greatness in meeting our full potential. After musical performing artists, entrepreneurs are the next category of prolific, divergent thinkers. You must be that kind of person. Your livelihood and survival depend on it. If by nature you are not a divergent thinker, this pursuit is a crash course in getting your mind right, tuning into your channel, assessing divergent ways of thinking and being, connecting the dots, and managing your reality so that you can conquer life and you can lead life. You will learn to stand on your own 2 feet and see the world differently. When pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors, you may be terrified on the inside, particularly if you're a first-generation entrepreneur, as I am. But fortitude will allow you to be a rock on the outside until you feel steady on the inside. What is fortitude? Fortitude is mental and emotional strength in facing difficulty, temptation, or adversity with courage. When you're in the ring with life, you will need it. Fortitude fuels better, quicker decision making and clarity. There will be ups and downs, so expect them. Take notes and adjust to the opponent. Unbeknownst to me, this is what I had been training for all of my life. I was in beta, and I finally connected the dots. So I encourage you to just keep connecting the dots. Seemingly incongruent pieces of your life's puzzle will work together for your good, and divergent paths will converge if you view them through the right lens. Keep your eye on the prize of finding purpose, and you will do that. While you're at it, reconsider your worth, particularly you women. Society has assigned a lesser value to us when we are actually worth more than the most precious jewels. Reprogram your mind. You are a queen. You are royalty. Live and act like it. Once you convince yourself, you will convince others and change your circumstances. Rule your space and respect yourself enough to believe in yourself. You are your own sacred space. It's time to live your worth, ladies. There's a biblical scripture, lean not to your own understanding. This perspective will help you move through life and give you a fighting chance. The closest you will come to figuring out life, and I say figuring out life in quotes, and why things happen the way they do is by finding your purpose. If you're going to conquer the ring, you must get out and stay out of your own head. It is easy to fall into traps in life and just float along. But if you are going to live a purpose-filled life, you will have to depart from the path of the Joneses. You've heard the saying, keeping up with the Joneses, right? And chart your own course. Don't worry about them and what they think or what they have. Shine unapologetically. The very thing that makes you different makes you special. It's your gift, your superpower, and the reason you were put on this earth. No one can fulfill it but you. Quiet your mind. Silence the white noise of voices expressing opinions around you. Figure out what your purpose is. Then follow your path, wherever it may lead, until you find it. You will always feel a void in your spirit, in your soul, that you cannot fill with anything but the right thing. The best way to quiet others' mouths and change their minds is to let your light shine. The path I've walked has empowered me to be the diverse, strong, focused, loving, caring, and accomplished woman I am today. And this was not a road easily traveled, but it was well worth it. Was the journey perfect? No. The recovering perfectionist in me would absolutely say no. Nonetheless, it has been perfect to find my purpose without question. So many people live their life unfulfilled or discontent, settling on the position that it's just the way things are and must be. Yet when we approach life from that perspective, we live a self-fulfilling prophecy. It is not the way things have to be. Whether they have always been that way or not, they are the way we choose to have them be, through action or inaction. See, wishing is to be so will do you no good. Wishing it to be so will absolutely do you no good. You must make it happen. Life may happen to you, but it will not happen for you without action and effort. When we consciously improve our circumstances, we can move mountains for not only ourselves, but also others. Maya Angelou said, all men are prepared to accomplish the incredible if their ideals are threatened. I want you to feel threatened. If you are unfulfilled, you should feel threatened. If you feel instability, you should feel threatened. If your ideals are to be happy in who you are without precondition or judgment are being threatened, do something about it. Once you've taken a long look at yourself and have worked on yourself, you will be ready to make a change. I'm a living witness. You will be a new person ready to find and walk in your purpose. Your purpose. You cannot accomplish it. You cannot accomplish this if there is any doubt that you will like the person staring back at you in the mirror. In the documentary by Warren Buffett, he advises, look for the job you would take if you didn't need a job. This philosophy is guided by identifying your passions, which will get you closer to your purpose. Our passions are driven by our purpose. I am not talking about something you like to do to occupy your mind or space. Purpose comes from the essence of your being. That's why you must know who you are. Once you find your purpose, no one can stop you but you. If you need a community that will help you to heal, rebuild, find your purpose, transform your life and circumstances from the inside out, it is the Defining Paths community. Choice is not a luxury. It is your birthright. The road not taken is a result of selling your birthright. Don't do that, sisters. Don't do that, brothers. So I hope you found nuggets in this episode to help you avoid the road not taken syndrome, as I like to call it, of lack and unfulfillment. You've lived it too long. I lived it too long. It's time to get off the bus, to get off that wheel of insanity, to define your path. So I invite you to reflection. Think on our conversation, the application in your life today. How does it apply? Where does it apply? How can you pivot and make a change? If you're ready to pivot and need personal wellness coaching, or ready to start transform a business online, my team at Defining Paths and I are here for you, and we're all about it. Let us help you exhale, heal, and rebuild. See your way to true vision, to start your own business, to define your path in 90 days for a foundation built for longevity, profitability, and sustainable wins. That is our pledge to you if you're interested in starting a business or transforming your business. Be sure to check out our business membership platform at thepivotmaestro.com/DP-membership. We'd love to have you come and be a part of the community. Come and take advantage of our training, our resources, and join our Facebook communities. You can find everything at definingpaths.online. We would love to have you. And join us next week. And until then, what is our mantra? Strong is the new sexy. Be strong in mind, body, and soul. Define your path and love the skin you're in. I'm Doc V. the pivot maestro, and always your corner woman. I am my sister's keeper. I'll see you next week.